welcome to another video of Bugle Battle Reports, or Bugle Battle Reps. So today I'm doing something a bit different. Seen some YouTubers do it, saying like, I'm Wargaming Response, stuff like this. Obviously I'm quite new to this channel, haven't had many videos yet, so no one to nominate me. But I stuck a poll on Instagram and thought, let's see if people want to hear about myself, my history of Warhammer, and where it all started and why I'm doing what I'm doing now. So let's get into it. So my Warhammer experience began when I was about 13 or 12, something like that, around that age, and it was in 3rd edition. Didn't know what editions was or what anything did back when I was younger. All we cared about was pretty little models. But we used to go into a local town, Sinostal, and play at a store called Man for Miniatures. And in there we used to do Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. And Blue Eyes White Dragon for that. And there's about 3 or 4 of us who used to play Yu-Gi-Oh. And while we're in there, often we used to see the older kids, teenagers, some adults playing a game called Warhammer. And out of curiosity at that age, all of us just started having a nose into it and seeing what it was about. And me and a couple of friends basically just got into the hobby that way, taking interest, just getting into it. So I remember the first models I ever bought. I managed to get some spare cash together off my parents. I think it was £20. And I bought just a big plastic box, just random models of Dark Elder. And it was off one of the local guys in there. And I remember these models, and there's most of them metal, and I had Warp Beast, Helions, Riches, jet bikes, all this just random bits and bobs really. But I'll show you what I've still got from my first army, which is not much, but so this is pretty much all that remains of my army from when I was 13. It's about 15, 16 years ago now. So I've still got the old Beastmaster with the Agonizer. I just love her, and the Warp Beast. Warp Beast was one of my favourite models back in the day. Some old Riches, still one painted from when I was younger. Not that I actually painted it, but one of the old school Avengers, and then Leatherfaces himself, the Archons. Look at that paint job, brilliant. And then some old school Incubi, blasters and shredders on them, stuff like that. And my old school Raiders, what means it, and the most awkward, heaviest Talos you could ever remember. This had more super glue and green stuff stuck in it than I ever known. But that's all that remains of my old army, unfortunately. So after playing for maybe till we was 15, I think we played for 1 or 2 years. Like that. Obviously, as you get older, teenagers in Britain get interested in alcohol, drinking, stuff like that, not painting models and putting little men on the table. So unfortunately, most of my army got lost or sold at a car boot by my mum. So I lost all my old army, which is pretty gutting now looking back at the amount of old metal models I had. Really miss it. But I even had a Absol Vec on the Ranger. Best model ever, I loved that one. But this is what I remember of Warhammer from being a kid. I had Michael Daniel, who used to play Necrons. I remember he had a Monolith. And this is the codex he actually used to use. Not this exact one, but same one. I remember the Necrons, always scary to face as a kid. She said just get back up. No one knew how to deal with them, and it was just I remember one of our friends had the Battle for Macaj set, the Tyrants and Space Marines. We even had the terrain piece. Yeah, I remember that. I find it the old school Ultramarines codex we even had. So in our little group when I was younger, I used to play Dark Elder. One of the other guys on the channel, Nev, he used to play Elder. So we call it how like Dark Elder versus Elder all the time. And our mate Ben, who's back on the channel recently as well, he used to have Ultra Rings as well when he was younger. So he literally came full circle back to his Ultra Rings recently, yes. And we had Toby, who used to play Tyranids. Sadly, most of his have gone missing now as well. But as you've seen, he was on the channel with Death Watch, one of our reports recently. One thing I do remember from when I was when I was younger, like 13, stuff like that, I used to go to my nan's in Truro. And just down the road from her was a Games Workshop on the corner of East Crossroads. And literally every time I go to my nan's, like I say, every Sunday, she'd go in, oh here you go love, here's £10 or something like this, buy yourself what you want. I remember every time I'd be excited, I'd go get my pocket money, run down the hill to the Games Workshop, go in, there'd be all these metal Dark Elder then on the shelf. I remember these be like, I can't remember the prices, maybe £13 or £8, just for like 2 warp beasts, 2 metal warp beasts, or like 1 helio on the side. Every week I was just coming home with like a new metal model, sticking my fingers together, building it like everyone did. But yeah, that was a good memory from childhood. Hopefully I got some images from back when we was kids playing Warhammer. I'll stick them here now. So, obviously, as you can probably tell in Wales, I'm not the best painter in the world. So yeah, I'm not the best painter in the world. I do find it difficult, but I tend to just plow on through and just get at least tabletop standard, if you can call something like that. I'll just go through some of my painting, starting from what I've done at the beginning, my most recent projects, and you see I am trying to improve, but again, it's not my biggest interest in the hobby. I'm all about the actual gameplay, tactics, and stuff like that. But let's see what you think. So when I started 40k again, I went back to, I did actually go back to Drakai first. First of all, I started with Space Rules. And this is one of my first paint jobs from about 2 years ago, when I first started again. As you can see, it's not brilliant, but to me it was like tabletop standard at the time, and it made me happy enough to just have it model painted on the table. Then after playing Space Rules for a bit, I went back to Drakai and bought some newer models, like this Razorine Fighter, some Venoms, stuff like that. As you can see, my painting's still not brilliant, but I had a little colour scheme going, and I kind of just stuck with it. I just got an army of about 2,000 points done in that scheme, just for tournaments and just gameplay really. So then, after playing Drakai for a while, I got interested in the Golden Boys, Custodes. Seeing a member of my local gaming club, a friend called Paddy, playing them, and instantly I just loved the jet bikes. So what did I go and do? Make an army of Custode jet bikes. Yes, it's not the most competitive list, but it is fun to play. I do love playing it sometimes. But as you see, my painting got a little bit better, I think. I made an effort. So after playing 40k for about a year, I got dragged into Age of Sigma, and I had to pick an army to play. So I just went into my local gaming shop, Mad for Miniatures, looked on the shelf, and I just read, oh, dinosaurs and lizards, let's go for it. So this is a couple of my things I paid for my certophone. Again, a lot of greatly painted, but I have tried. I don't think my terrain piece looks too bad. And then I've got my Bastardon here, which when I painted it, I was like, oh, that looks like a Venusaur so much. So I literally painted it as bright as I could to make it a Venusaur with a solar beam on top. And yeah, I enjoy my Sigma. I do it very much just for be sociable and just play some dinosaurs really. Don't know nothing about Fruff Rise really. Well, to me it's just dinos and Pokemon. And then when we started doing 40k again, our friend on the channel, Ben, he did start with Tau when he first started 40k again in 8th edition. But unfortunately he fell in love with Tau, which is a hard thing to do because everybody hates Tau. And to be fair, I just think they're quite boring to play as well. And he went back to his first love, which was Ultramarines. When he did his Ultramarines, most of them were just sitting on my shelf here, and it's all blue. So I offered to start painting them for him. Because I thought, I've never painted Ultramarines. I thought, how hard could it be? And I think as you can see, they haven't turned out too badly. I think I did an okay job on them. Nothing too special, but quite happy with how the repulsor turned out. As you can tell probably by this, I started using an airbrush at this time and just made my painting so much easier to do. Then you got Giddy here, he was quite a bastard to actually paint, but again, I think he turned out not too bad. Again, I'm not the brightest painter, but I'm quite happy with how it all turned out. Since me and my local friends started playing Warhammer 40k again, I make Toby on the channel just literally slagging off Necrons all the time. I can understand it. Necrons are shit, they're not good, blah blah blah, all this. And to me, I loved the Necrons. So, after maybe a year of starting again, a bit more, I went and started Necrons. And had quite good success playing them, enjoyed playing them, often surprise people how well they do. And this is one guy I recently purchased, and I was quite happy with how he turned up. So you can see, I think my paintings improved quite a lot from when it first started back in the day. And then on to even more most recent projects. So I recently added some Imperial Knights to my collection. And again, you see I've gone over with airbrush, using transfers, stuff like this. I think he's turned out quite well. And then my most recent one I'm doing currently is I'm building 2,000 points of Harlequins. Got a load given to me last Christmas by friends and family, and they just sat on the shelf really because they're so hard to paint and they're so just tiny and fiddly. But again, I've been using transfers and airbrushes, stuff like that, and after I have painted them, I am quite happy with how they've all turned out so far. Still a lot more to do. Big fan of this guy, Death Jester. Yeah, that's just a little summary of what my painting's been like over the years, what models I've collected and painted, and what we're currently playing on the channel. Obviously, I restarted Warhammer about 2 years ago. Like I said, I started with Space Rules, and this was before they even had Codex, so still playing out in Index at the time. And I was playing against Toby at Trials then, with my Imperial Guard, and it was just so hard. I remember having like Bjorn, my Dreadnoughts and Wolfen just walking up the table every game, because you know, being new to 40k, I didn't really get the tactics too much at that time again. I remember every game, I was just getting shot off the table before I even reached this end of the table, because of the obviously Imperial Guard, using Basilisks, Manticores, mortars, everything with no line of sight, and I was just getting shot off the table, and it was honestly just horrible play of Space Rules. So after losing stuff like this, I went back to my first love, Drukhari, and straight away I just read Venom spams, Raiders, Ravagers, stuff like that, and instantly started seeing better results from my gameplay because I was then facing better armies, basically equal armies rather than being one-sided, and started enjoying the game a lot more, especially more Drukhari, because everybody hates Drukhari who faces them. Dirty pirates, I will call them. But yeah, since I've been gaming again 2 years ago now, I've been doing local tournaments here in Cornwall at Snowstall, and further down in Cornwall. I've gone to a couple up in Devon now as well. Haven't been to a GT yet. Wanted to go to one this year, but then COVID's hit and stuff like this. Unfortunately, that's put a dent in that for the time being. Personally myself, for what I love about 40k is just the tactics, the mind games. They're just a really good hobby, I think, for keeping your mind active, making you think. I'm a sore loser. The only time, who doesn't like losing, yeah? But there's different things between losing to a better player, which sometimes you just go, yep, you outsmarted me. What I do get frustrated about is when it's my mistakes or my stupid errors that cost me a game, and that just bugs me so much. It's like, I should have not done that, I should have done this. But when the dice are just against you or you get outplayed, is what it is. So the reason I started doing my YouTube channel Battle Ports is obviously because when we all started 2 years ago now, a lot of us watched Battle Ports online, like Tabletop Tactics being the main one, Hellstorm Gaming, Tabletop Titans recently, and they're all just good inspirations for improving your gameplay and things like this. And I thought, how hard could it be? Obviously, after doing a few videos now, we found out it's actually quite hard to film and play without making mistakes. But hopefully we'll get there better one day. Hopefully my colleagues here at Bugle Back Reps get a bit less shy, will come on camera a bit more because they're still a bit nervous. But yeah, that's it really from me. Thank you for everyone for subscribing and watching our channel. Like I said, all comments and feedbacks, all positive, anything that will help us improve. So yeah, cheers for watching, cheers and gone people.